In this tutorial, we will use the Struts2 wrapper for the Java Property Resources bundle files to create custom messages to be displayed in our JSP files from the key value pairs in the property files. We will also use the Java technology for location-specific and language-specific messages in our JSPs. For my YouTube students, there will be a link in the description of the YouTube video to my Udemy course where you will be able to download the source code in zip file format. These are our steps that we will follow. First, we will reuse our previous form validation project. Then we will create a message resources file for our register action. Then we will use the key value pairs in our message resources file in our register JSP and our register action. We will expand on the concept of the property file so that we can use them in our packages. So we'll go back to our Hello World packages and write specific messages for Hello World. Finally, we will write a Spanish language resources file for registering our Spanish-speaking insurance agent. And now it's over to Eclipse. So we will start by copying our previous project. I am just going to skip over the step. So let's just make sure that our new project is working as expected. Looks good so far. Yep, it works as expected. So for our register action property, we will start in the register action package. We'll create our new property file. We'll call it register.properties. And here we'll write in all our key value pairs. This is the key value pairs for the register form. Now, of course, we're going to have to update the JSPs to reflect these key values as well as our struts.xml configuration. First, we'll make sure that on register we go through the action class first so that our key values get captured in the action. Then we will go over to our register.jsp and make use of key values. Now we have to make sure that the link in our menu goes through the action so that we pick up the key value pairs. So we will use the register input action. Looking at our register input action, I need to add the insurance agent context path. So by doing this, the registers.jsp should have access to the key value in our register property fields. So let's have a look. Okay, so we see most of them here, but we're missing last name and first name. Let's fix that. Okay, let's see if that looks better. Everything is now picked up from register properties, except I think our submit. And that we can easily fix by adding the key for submit. Of course, for our title and our header, we can't just say enroll. We actually got to refer to the struts key. Let's do that. So we will make use of the struts2 text tags to display the custom enroll message here. The name will be enroll. We will also use it for our title. Now let's make sure we have enroll key value pair in our properties file. And let's test it and see if it works. That looks good. And if we view source, we can see that it's also our title. And here we can also see that Struts 2 provided us with the built-in style sheet and scripting for the error validation. And we'll also use the same text field to update this screen. In order to get ready for our multilingual application, we'll also take these text messages out of the hard-coded JSP and put them in our register properties. Now let's see if all of that works. That all looks successful. Now in order to get ready for our internationalization, let's have a look. This is our landing page. So right now this is pure HTML with a refresh, redirect to menu action, and then menu JSP has got hello world and role insurance action. This is what it looks like. So let's start by moving this hello world and enroll insurance agent into a global properties file. So we will go into our source directory here and create a global.properties file. And we'll move these two text elements as well as our title element to the global properties file. Now we'll move the hello world and enroll insurance agent as well. Now change those two struts to text tags. Now we have to make Struts2 aware of the global properties file by referencing it in our struts.xml. Here we specify the global properties file as part of our internationalization. So let's test it at this stage. It does look like our Struts2 tag picked up the correct text. Looking at the source. Now for our next step, when we go to Hello World, these are all still hard-coded, these text entries as well as the submit button. These custom Hello World greetings are also hard-coded. So what we'll do in this case is we'll create a package-specific properties file for Hello World, and we'll move all the hard-coded text into our package-specific Hello World properties file in our Hello World package. Then we repeat the process by going back to our JSPs and moving it into the properties file. Of course, these come from our action, so no need to change them. And now all of our hello world entries should be in the package specific hello world properties. Now, in order to pick up the key values from the hello world properties file, we will have to change our struts.xml, actually our hello world XML, so that we go through the action class first before we hit the name entry.jsp. And we actually did this with our register action. Now we have to change the menu.jsp to go to the hello input action. So let's have a look if our hello world properties work. That looks like it picked up those values, as well as our title and our greeting page. For the final piece, we'll look into internationalization and adding the option for our register insurance agent in the Spanish language. So we'll start by creating a Spanish language properties file for our register action and register JSP. We'll change these to the Spanish language with the help of Google Translate. As you can see, we also added some more register specific properties. Now we will go back to our menu.jsp and create the register link in English and in Spanish. Now, since this is kind of a landing page, we can't use a language specific properties file here because we're going to present both in English and Spanish. So we are going to use the global properties file for this page. Here we have the enroll insurance agent in English, and here we have it in Spanish. So we're gonna add some logic here to our two links. As we can see, we still use the register input action for both, but we pass in a language specific locale, one for English and one for Spanish. Then we have our Spanish and English text display. So essentially this tells our action that we are using the English properties file, and this tells our action to use the Spanish language properties file. If you need more explanation about this, please refer back to the actual Java documentation on internationalization, since it is a big section of the Java language specification. So let's have a look at how this works. So here we can see it picked up the Spanish language. We pass in the Spanish specific locale. So let's see if it actually picks up the Spanish language resources file. And that looks good. All in Spanish. We still have our error messages in English, so I'll leave this as an optional exercise. You'll have to expand on the Spanish language property file and go back to the action to update the error so that we see a Spanish language error message. And that looks good. It looks like it picked up our Spanish language message on the thank you for registering page. And when we go back to the main menu, we see our English and Spanish links. And this concludes our rather long tutorial on internationalization and using the resources files in Struts 2. I will see you in the next video.